What's up, YouTube? I'm back tonight with another RDA for you guys. This video has been 3 weeks in the making. Had some first I wanted to try this thing out and walk it through its paces, because I'd heard so much about it and what you can do with it and da-da-da-da-da. So I tried it out for a couple weeks, and last week I tried to make a video. I had a bit of a mishap. I'll talk about that when we go down up close, but I ended up having to get another part for it because I destroyed one, and yeah, got that part. So here we are throwing this video together, and yeah, let's take it down, and we'll talk about it, and I'll tell you what I like about it, because there aren't too many things that I don't like. Alright, and here we are for the unboxing of the Nucleus RDA clone. So when you open up the box, the first thing to note is this Allen key. And this was, this doesn't come originally with the Nucleus clone from Infinite. The company that I bought this from, Vapemeet.ca, did go out and purchase these all after the fact and put them in all the boxes so that you have a Allen key that will fit into your post screws to tighten down your connections. So if you do buy one and you don't get it from Vapemeet, bear in mind you're going to need to get an Allen key. So next you have the RDA itself, which comes in an Infinite bag, same as usual. And this is your Nucleus RDA here. You do get a drip tip, and you have your Style of Mojo engraved on there, and the logo. Now this is I'm just gonna call this a beauty ring because I don't think it serves any other purpose, but this, as far as I know, is rhodium plated, and it does say Style of Mojo on it, and it has Nucleus, the name of the RDA, on there as well. Let's get a little more light. So then one sec, I need to throw this onto a mod to get it apart here. When we get inside, this is where it's going to differ greatly from any other dripper you've ever had, because it does not have a 2 or a 3 post setup. But before I go too much further, I would just like to say that I'm getting ahead of myself. In the box you also get your typical little bag of spare O-rings and a couple of pre-built wicks and coils. Anyhow, back to the dripper itself. So take this out. All you're doing is unscrewing this flathead screw, which is also rhodium plated, and there it goes. And once that's screwed down tight, it completes your circuit, and you get your connection, and you're off to the races. Now I'm for this video, I'm gonna go with pre-built coils, because I tried to make this video once already, and I tried to put on quad coils of 26 gauge, and it ohmed out at 0.3, and I tried to fire it, and if you look inside of there and in between these two metal pieces is a little piece of what I thought was Delrin, and it's not. It is nylon. And when I fired my 0.3 quad coil build, it melted that nylon insulator, so I now have a replacement for it, and I've built a dual coil build at 0.4 ohms, and it seems to be working just safely. in nicely. Everything's working good. But essentially, to put coils on the top and bottom, you've got these little holes here where your Allen screws go, and you're just going to loosen them off, top and bottom, and feed your wire, where are we, through those holes. Whoops. Snug them back down, and clip your leads, and you're good to go. These holes are pretty small. If you're into twisted coils and Clapton coils and parallels might work, but a lot of the really thick, bigger wire dual 24s I haven't tried, but I imagine that would be a really tight fit to get through these holes. I did manage to get the quad coils on with 26 gauge, so I mean that was two strands of 26 gauge going through each hole, and that worked out okay. But just bear in mind, if you like the thicker wires, you probably might end up having to drill this if you start wanting to run quad coil builds. So once you've got your coils in there, you're just going to grab your cotton. From here on out, it's pretty much the same old drill. And wick your coils. Forgive the creaking of my chair. I think it's time for some WD-40. Now, when I have been doing this, and I pretty much just run dual coils in this. I'm not a big fan of quad coil builds personally. I don't feel the need. I get everything I need with the duals. But anyways, what I like to do is leave a little bit extra on the top there. And I'll clip the bottom so it's about 1.5 inches long, give or take. And then before I insert it in, I'll take whatever juice I'm using and I'll just wet these tops down. And what I like to do, and this is just a matter of preference, but I thought I would show you anyhow, is I take the tops and I push them down in behind the coil. Just remember, when you do it towards, I'm going to call it the back, because when you mount it in, this side is the side that the air is going to be coming from, so you're not blocking it off with the cotton. And I just find you get a little bit more coverage on the wick from the coil. Just like that. And then you do is take your centerpiece here, line your coils up with your air holes, and you do have to screw this screw down relatively tight. So if you screw it in and you just kind of halfway snug it down and try and fire it and it doesn't work, go back and really crank down on that screw and it should be okay. Once that's tightened down, I take the rest of my wick that's still sticking up and I just push it down on the deck. Something like that. I will make the note that the first few times I did a build on this, it was a learning experience, and the first few times I did this, just having never used it before, I was kind of cursing it and missing the 3-post design of most of the common drippers, but as time has gone by I've gotten used to it, and I rather like this device now and the way it works and the way it's set up. Now when you go to put your cap on, if you were to run quad coils, you would have an air hole for each coil, and you would just take the top cap and line up your holes. And you would have 4 air holes open. Or you can take the bigger hole in the middle for your dual coil setups and put it over the holes which your coils are inside of, and away you go. Put your beauty ring back on. I'm going to forego the style of Mojo drip tip because I think the two-tone brass Stingray drip tip looks way nicer. But yeah, there's your Nucleus. So there it is. That was the Nucleus RDA up close and personal in a nutshell. Overall, this thing, since I've got it, I mean, it just went right up to the top of my list. I love this thing. It outperforms everything I've ever tried this far. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. I mean, when you got it just in dual coil mode and you use your 2 air holes, it chucks the vapor. I mean, if you want to go even further, you can set it up with all 4 air holes as if you're going to run a quad coil. Still do it in dual coil and get tons of flavor and even more vapor. So I mean, yeah, that's that. I can't even, yeah, this thing kills the taupe, kills the Trident, just utterly destroys the QZR. I've got a Magma. I just got it last night. I'm still figuring that out and trying different things on it, so we'll see how that holds up. I'll let you guys know in a week, because I will be doing a review on this thing coming up. But enough about that, let's talk about this. The drip tip that comes with it, it is a nice drip tip, but for me, because I only use this on my Stingray, it's my only brass mod, so keep the brass dripper on it for style, you know, personal thing. And I just find this drip tip, sorry, it's a beautiful drip tip, but it's just slightly too big for me. It's really tall. I've been using the Stingray drip tip that came with the Stingray, and I find it's just a much cleaner look. So, and also because this has a different finish than the actual what do you want to call it, chamber, sidewalls on your dripper, this hasn't patinaed at all, whereas this has. So I find it doesn't match up, and the finish on this drip tip patinated, so I just find it looks better aesthetically. But I mean, yeah, all your O-rings fit nice and tight, so once you set it, you can pretty much forget it. It's not going to really go anywhere. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. It's just amazing. So with that being said, the only mishap that I had is melting the insulator on it. I did talk with one of the guys that works at the store. Thank you, Charlie. He did suggest to me, if you're going to get these, or one of these, they're kind of geared towards builds that are kind of half an ohm range and up. So I wouldn't be putting super sub-ohm coils on here, because the insulator can melt, and you're gonna have to go and source out another insulator. So yeah, that's just something you might want to consider. But other than that, this is a rock solid RDA, and I love it. This goes everywhere with me. It's my all day device. Everything else is just kind of like, you know, part-time now. So yeah, there it is. I purchased this at Vapemeet.ca. It was $25.99 or $24.99, something like that. I'll have a link in the description below, but I would highly recommend, if you are looking for a dripper, to get one of these, because for the last time I'll say it, it's amazing. I couldn't recommend it anymore. 2 thumbs way up, like way up. So with that, I'll stop ranting about this thing now, and let you guys get back to your day or your evening, whatever time it is where you are, and have a good night. And I'm sorry for the delay between videos, but we'll have another one up next week. So until then, play safe and vape on.